you do use your pleases and thank yous and yes ma'am and yes sir and things like that.
Wow.
That is not optional. That is how you speak when you're here, and you always show people respect, especially people that.
Hey guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to watch South USA, the don'ts of visiting the South. And I can totally relate to it because this happens a lot in India too. Like India, North India and South India are completely different. You know, you will see a very big cultural difference when you visit South India, and that is the same when you visit North India. And even if you go for West India or East India, and I know for sure that it happens the same in USA. You know, India is known for it. India is very diverse. Like it has all the other like about 40-50 languages, and it has so many, like they say, like if you go 100 kilometers or more within our country, you will find a new language, new type of people living, new type of culture. So this is how vivid our culture is. So it's very interesting to see how vivid the culture of South USA is. So let's watch this.
Yeah, and I do think that India and USA is quite similar, and most importantly, as Parbram said, that North India and South India are totally different. Even their culture is not only different, but you know, skin color and education and all is also different in North India and South India. Mostly South Indians are, you know, little bit tan skin, has little bit tan skin, and basically North Indians have a, you know, white complexion. So yeah, that's the reason. And as Parbram said, that India has a, you know, very you know, people use different kind of languages in India, and I belong from Himachal Pradesh. It's a basically state, and here, you know, here people speak around 12 to 13 languages in a state. And here is also, you know, basically Upper Himachal, Lower Himachal, and I am from Upper Himachal, so I can't understand the language of the Lower Himachal. So it happens in the whole India. So I do think that we can relate a lot from this video, and maybe we're gonna, you know, watch the culture of South USA also in this video. So I'm so much excited to watch it. So let's watch the video.
Yes, and if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe the channel, and let's watch this video.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're here in Savannah, Georgia. And today we're going to cover for you are the don'ts of visiting the south of the U.S., and specifically the southeast, you know, the deep south, the Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, South Carolina, this kind of stuff, because there's some things you should know that are different than the traditional don'ts of the U.S. They're specific in general. There's some we want to focus on just for here in the south.
Ooh.
And the first don't I have for you is don't forget your manners. Look, manners are a huge thing in the south. Whether you're a little kid or you're an old man, you need to have your manners when you're here. You do use your pleases and thank yous and yes ma'am and yes sir and things like that. That is not optional. That is how you speak when you're here, and you always show people respect, especially people that are older than you, okay? So you will be holding the door for people and things like that. And I'll tell you, don't you ever let an old Southern woman or an old Southern man or anyone that seems older than you stand up. You always give up your chair to the older ladies or the older gentlemen when you are there, because it is a sign of respect. That's how it works here in the South, because manners are a huge thing when you are here. And another thing is don't forget to smile when you are here. You'll see how happy and friendly the people are. And one of the parts that is just this happy-go-lucky nature that you have here in the South. So don't forget to smile, because you will have a good time. And with that is, don't be surprised if people randomly start up conversations with you when you are here in the South. Going grocery shopping, if you pass by somebody maybe twice in 2 different aisles, don't be surprised you strike up a conversation out of the blue on the next aisle. It is a completely normal thing here, because the Southerners are super friendly. I know, we were at a restaurant here in town a couple days ago. My credit card fell through the crack in the floor, like it was like a debt kind of thing that they had built up. They pried up the floor to get my card out. I'm like, dude, I can call and cancel the card. It's okay. They're like, no, we got this taken care of. The people in the South are super friendly, so don't freak out about it. It's not fake. They are really that friendly and that helpful. So don't be scared to ask for help when you come here. That's another don't I have for you. Because you're going to see towns like Savannah or Charleston. There's so much history here. You're not sure, what should I be looking at here? I mean, you have this picture. What should I look at? Well, you got the Comic Exchange right there. Like, oh, there's a historic building. You got the fountains, and you got the Capitol building. You have these things. You're like, wow, it is kind of a cool thing to check out, but you want to know more. And the Southerners do have a lot of pride in their hometowns, in their home states and stuff like that, that they will share that with you. So don't be afraid to ask, hey, we're the best biscuits in town. We're gonna get the best, you know, the strongest drinks in town. They will be friendly and they will help you out. One of
That's
the things is when
very
you do
good,
talk
yeah.
to the Southerners,
Yes.
you might notice that sometimes they're an accent. And what I will say is, don't think that that accent makes them stupid, okay? Just because someone has an accent doesn't make them like not know something or be less intelligent or whatever.
Yes, of
And you
course.
have this stereotype that TV and radio and movies really kind of promote is, oh, if you got an accent, you must be some kind of hillbilly. Do not think that the Southerners are hillbillies. Don't think their accent
Wow.
makes them stupid. It's not the case. You can have some great conversations with people when you are here, and they'll know more than you actually think they do. And so I want to give you the heads up on that. And another don't I have with you is when you are here and you do bring your kids, don't be surprised if your kids are acting up, if the locals will tell your kid, hey, straighten up, hey, get it together. You will see that here. People do scold other people's kids when you're here in the South.
That
and I
is
know
a
here in
bit
the
weird.
North, or you're in California, West Coast, or something like that, and someone tells your kid, hey, watch it, kid. You're like, don't tell my kid what to do. I've had people do that to us before. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, your kid just kicked me. Am I supposed to let your kid, hit me or something? Here, that stuff doesn't fly. Your kid's acting obnoxious. Be prepared to have people call you out on that. Because remember, number one, manners, okay? And that goes from young to old. So make sure little Johnny or little Susie know that, hey, you say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, please and thank
Yeah,
you.
accept
And you
it,
don't
right,
make a
okay.
mess, all right? So just a heads up on that one. Now, when they do call out your kids for the behavior, they're not judging you and judging your parental skills and stuff like that. What they kind of do here in the South is it's the old mantra, it takes a village to raise a child, and so the whole village is helping out raising the child, okay? So
Wow.
don't be offended by it. Because you know what? It is hot when you're here, and that's my next don't is don't melt when you come to the South. Look,
Really?
July and August, oppressive heat in pretty much the entire deep South. And in lots of places, oppressive humidity. Like you walk out, you're like, oh, I'm gonna melt and die. Oh, help me God. You do have that.
This
when
one
you
is
are
not for
here.
Indians.
So if you're gonna come, there's a reason why so many people winter in the South, because it's got nice weather in the winter. So come down here from October till April, and you're not gonna have the insane heat. You're gonna have nice weather and less humidity.
Don't jump
but
in.
don't expect to not die of the heat and humidity if you do come in July and August. So I'll be honest with that. It can be pretty bad, okay? And I guess one of the other don'ts I'll have for you is if you're really hot and you want to get a drink and you go in, they might ask you, hey, what kind of Coke do you want? You're like, what? So my thing is, don't think that Coke just means Coke. Here, a lot of times what you'll see is they'll say, hey, what kind of Coke you want? They mean, what kind of soda would you like? What kind of pop or sody pop or drink? It's just the
So
word
Coke
they
is the
use for
common
soda
name.
Okay.
is Coke, okay? So don't freak out.
That's a
I don't
new
drink
thing
Coke.
for me.
Yeah, I know. We have lots of
I
different
haven't
Cokes,
heard
right?
that.
Dr. Pepper, whatever. You do have that when you are here. Now, in the last 2 years, I've definitely seen a drop off in the number of places where they do use Coke as the de facto word for soda or soda pop. So you might not see it too often, but occasionally you will. So I just want to give you that heads up. And the thing is, if you're going to meet up with Southerners to have a drink, whether it's a Coke or a beer or whatever, is you got to realize is don't expect the Southerners to be on time. There's
Oh.
definitely a much more laissez-faire
High five.
attitude with time here in the South. And as Jocelyn will tell you, look, with this kind of humidity, how's my hair going to dry? These kind of things, it takes a little bit more time. Or Jocelyn will tell me, hey, I've got to get my face on. Look, the thing is time is very relevant here. So if you're setting up a time, hey, let's meet at 8 o'clock, they might not be there till 8:30 or something like that, or
Oh,
later.
this happens
And don't
a lot
worry if
in
they
India.
write, she's like, oh, we're on our way, and that means like I'm getting in the shower, okay? So the more time you spend here, you realize that, yeah, on time, not always a thing to expect to have here. Now, going back to that drinky kind of thing, another thing you need to know is when you get tea here, don't think your tea is going to be unsweetened, okay? In the South, you drink sweet tea, period, end of story.
Oh.
Unsweetened tea belongs in one place, down a drain, all right? So if you're gonna get tea, it's gonna be sweet tea, all right? And it's really good. And don't think that sweet tea is tea plus sugar.
Huh.
No. For all
Then?
my friends, when you go to a restaurant in the North and you ask for sweet tea, they say, oh, I have sugar packets with the tea. You're like, no, that's not the same thing, all right? So don't expect unsweetened tea when you're here. But the thing is if you're looking at food, honestly, if you're gonna be coming to the South, don't bring tight clothes or at least bring a belt with a couple extra loops on it, because you're gonna eat so much when you're here, because there's so much good food. The fried chicken, the biscuits, the grits, oh my god. The barbecue, there's so much fantastic food that yes, you will get quite big when you are here. I mean, I'll show you a picture of before I started coming to the South, and this is what I look like now, okay? So heads up with that. So don't forget a bit more room in your clothing when you are here. Now
So
my
you
next
can come
stunt's
to
gonna
South to
focus
become
on
fat.
some misconceptions of Southern food. No, they don't fry everything, but they do fry a lot. But honestly, my biggest don't would be that, look, don't think that barbecue goes on the grill. The grilling things you grill on your barbecue at home is hot dogs and burgers and steaks. Barbecue here in the South is smoked meat. Whether it is, of course, a Boston butt, oh my god, pulled pork is fantastic. Or you're having brisket or whatever, you have the smoked meat that's been on there for hours and hours, and it makes it all succulent and juicy, and it's so good. And that's why when you're in the South, you're eating barbecue all over the place. Because the thing is, if you're thinking that barbecue is just grilled meat, think about it. If you put a steak or any kind of meat on your grill straight on the flames for 7 hours, you know what you'd have? Charcoal, okay? It's not the same thing. So don't think barbecue is on the grill. It's in a smoker, just sucking in all those flavors. So definitely get barbecue.
Everything is looking so delicious in this
Another
video.
don't I have for you actually dealing with those barbecue thing is, don't be surprised if the barbecue sauce you have varies from state to state. So here in Georgia, we have sweet barbecue sauce, right? But if you go to South Carolina, it's like a barbecue-based barbecue sauce. If you go to North Carolina, it's a vinegar-based barbecue sauce. If you go to Memphis, well, Memphis, they use a dry rub on their ribs. And so you have all these different kinds of barbecue you could have. I mean, I was in Alabama, and oh my God, I had some fantastic ribs when I was there. And here in Savannah, I'm doing the pulled pork, and I mean, you just have all these different variations. So don't think, oh, I'm doing a Southern tour. We had barbecue in North Carolina. I don't need to have it again. You should, because it will be different in each place you go. And one thing that kind of goes along with the regional differences in the barbecue is also don't think that all the South is the same. I mean, if you're going to Atlanta, it's a very different experience than coming here to Savannah or going to Charleston, which is very different than going to New Orleans or Natchez in Mississippi, or going to Memphis versus Nashville or Knoxville, or going to the Outer Banks and these kind of things. You have a lot of different kind of regional differences in the South, whether it's geography, whether it's people, whether it's food and cuisine and stuff like that. And yes, different types of barbecue that are out there. So don't think it's all the same. Don't think, well, I went to Atlanta, I saw the South. No, you saw part of the South, so go and explore more of it. Another don't I have for you has to do with that beautiful Spanish moss you see behind me. See it just kind of dripping down there. Oh, it is so cool. And you want to go and grab some and hold it like, oh, should I wear it as a shawl? Look, my don't for you is, if you're in the coastal part of the South and you see Spanish moss, don't touch it. There's little buggies in there. There's little chiggers in there that will bite you and bite you and bite you, and you get all itchy and stuff like that. So don't try to make your own I'm going to be Mark Walters picture and stuff it in your shirt so you get a big belly like me. Don't do that, okay? Because that stuff, man, you'll be like, can't make it stop. And that's more, I mean, most people would know to do that, not to do that. But I have seen a lot of kids, they'll go and start playing with it and their parents don't realize it. So I want to make sure you know, don't play with the Spanish moss. Now, a fashion don't I have for you, and I know I am not the person to listen to about fashion, and that's okay, is if you're a tourist, don't worry if you feel underdressed. Look, here in the South, you can, I mean, there's fashion, all fashion is acceptable here. You'll see people wearing flip-flops and G-strings, and you'll see people wearing their Southern gentleman vest and their seersucker suits. You'll see that. And the thing is, though, if you go to, for example, you go to a football game in Georgia, guess what? You'll see people in heels. We were at the grocery store at Publix, and people are doing their grocery shopping in heels. It's not an uncommon thing. So don't feel that you have to dress up that nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. People will be appreciative of it, but you don't have to dress up that nice when you are here. So another don't in the South is don't mess with the mayonnaise. And in the South, you got two great mayonnaise. The best is Duke's. This is what you always want to get. Blue Plate, also very much an acceptable kind of thing. Not Miracle Whip. No, never that. But Duke's, Blue Plate, you'll be good to go, and you'll get it on all kinds of stuff. Now, another Southern food I want to give you a don't for are grits, okay? And my thing is, don't think grits are just for breakfast. Because when you see grits, they look like a cream of wheat or an oatmeal or a porridge kind of thing. But the thing is, they do look like that, but they're actually made out of hominy. And if you're not sure what hominy is, it's like a corn derivative, so you do have that. But the thing is, you look at it, you think, oh, this is going to be like a porridge. It's only for breakfast. Oh, no, 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 no.
It looks like like a
Grits are
oats.
good any time of the day. You can have
Why is he
normal
showing
plain
so
grits
much
or
food?
cheese grits. Which
I
is
want
always
to
good.
eat some.
My personal favorite, if you're looking for something like a lunch or a dinner thing, shrimp and grits. Oh my God, it is so good. So don't think grits are just for breakfast. It may look like it, but it so isn't.
Stop
and
it.
going along with that, don't
Man.
think biscuits are the same here as well. Because biscuits in the South, there's a different kind of flour they use.
Wow.
So make sure if you get a chance to grab some biscuits whenever you can, because oh my God,
My
they're
whole-
so
whole
good. Seriously,
mouth is filled
don't
with
pass up the
water.
food in the South. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It is so good, from the fried chicken to
Actually.
the pecan pie to, oh my God, anything you have here is awesome. And the thing is, if you're going to cities like Savannah, you'll have traditional
I
Southern
am
cuisine,
opening an American
collards
restaurant
and
in
stuff
India.
like that. But you also have newer kind of fusion kind of Southern food, so you can have all kinds of great mixes. Now, another thing you should know is when you come to the South, I know when people come from around the world to come visit the U.S., we have a very popular sport here in the U.S. we call football, or you might call American football. And here in the South, it's like a religion. People love their SEC football. They have their Georgia Bulldog shirts on, or their Alabama, the Crimson Tide, or LSU, or whatever. They really love their football in the South, okay? And so if you're gonna make this thing, oh, it's boring, soccer's better, or basketball's better, just don't. Just don't. I'm telling you right now, it is
Just
not
don't.
worth the headache of the discussion, because they love their football here. They're super passionate about it. And don't pass up the chance to go to a football game on a Saturday in the fall, because it'll be a great experience, not just for the game, but don't miss out on tailgating, the party before the game, when you're grilling out and you're drinking beer with your buddies and stuff like that. It's a whole experience, and you'll see that, wow, why is it from on this Saturday, it's from 3 till 6, the city was empty. Oh, because the Georgia Bulldogs were playing, and so everybody in
That's
town was
nice.
watching the game. You do have that when you are here. And I guess another don't I'll give you is when you're preparing for that tailgate and you're going to the grocery store or the grocery, when you get your stuff, you know that little thing you fill up with all the groceries? That thing you push around, don't call it a cart here. It's called a buggy.
Buggy.
Right? It's a buggy you push
Wow.
around. And my last don't for you is don't skip out on visiting the South. You will fall in love with it. With
Surely,
amazing
man.
architecture,
Someday,
amazing
surely.
people,
Beautiful.
tons of beautiful towns to visit. You go to Natchez, Mississippi, on the Mississippi River, and seeing all the homes there, or visiting New Orleans and seeing the history there and the Creole culture. Or maybe you're heading up to Oxford, Mississippi, where Ole Miss is, or you're heading through Alabama, or you're coming here into Savannah, Georgia, or going to Charleston, or hitting Atlanta, the mega metropolis of the South, going up to Asheville for amazing beer, or hitting the Outer Banks. There are so much great things to enjoy in the South that you really want to go and explore. And that's why I tell people, don't try to see the whole U.S., pick a region and focus on that. And the South is a great region to see, because you can drive around lots of places, the roads are good, because there's no freezing and thawing, so the highways stay even, which is awesome. And you really, really love it, because the people, they care about their cities, they care about their towns, they have a very much pride in those places, so they want to share that with the tourists like you, like me, so you will fall in love with places like that.
What a video it was. Seriously, I do think that South USA is a kind of city which is for me, because the things which I really like are is in South USA. First of all, I am a big foodie. I love to eat different kind of foods, and basically he said that if you are visiting the South USA, please come with the loose clothes, because you're gonna eat a lot. After that, your belly will blow out. That's the reason. And seriously, literally, I want to explore the South USA more, and this video was so informative. And the things which I really liked about the South USA was when they said that people are very friendly here. They are not just not friendly, they are helpful too, and they basically they focus on the manners, which is too important. And I do think that we the world should learn a lot of things from the South USA. And basically this video, I do think that this video is all about the food. They showed us different kind of food, and the biscuits was so tempting, and literally when I was watching the video, I was literally watering. I was starving. Seriously, I like the whole video. And the city is so beautiful, their culture is so different, and they call the cart as a buggy, which I heard for the first time. And there were many things which I heard for the first time. So basically this video was so informative for me, me, and I learned a lot of things from this video, and seriously I love this video.
Yes, and the amount of food he was showing to me, and the thing is, I have not had lunch till now, so I was like so hungry, and I was like, oh man, I want to eat it, and all of it looked very, very delicious to me. And also the thing was like, because like in India also it is known, like in India it is known that okay, if you go to your mom's house or your someone else's house, then they will make sure that you eat a lot. But he was like, when you visit South USA, you know for sure you will eat a lot, so always have some loose clothes are with you. So this was a very interesting point to know, like okay, you should have your loose clothes because you will eat a lot and the food is delicious out there. And you know, we saw a recent video of ours where we were like, okay, we saw the video in which it was like the most beautiful places of America, and most of the places were in the north of America. So we were like, okay, the North USA is the one where you should once visit. But now after seeing this video, it is like South USA is something where you can go and have good food, and then you can enjoy their local team, and you can just enjoy your whole life and living with them, drinking beers and all. So it looked awesome. And also the thing was, the main point was where it was like the people can also scold your other one's child. So they are like, because they feel like okay, the kid is not raised by their parents, it is raised by a village. So it is very interesting point, and it is like okay, they will tell the kid okay, please shut up, or please don't do this or that, and they will let him know. So this is also a good thing, because in India if you do that, okay, people might get offended, but it is like, because manners are not so important in India, like at this point of time. Some places yes, but not everywhere. So I think so if that manner rules is followed, then this is also followed by it. So this was an amazing video to watch. So how did you guys find this video? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.
Bye.